What's up, family? I wanted to get on here and just talk about faith over fear and having faith in the unknown. And I want to just tell you about my testimony. Well, it's not really a testimony, I guess it's a story about how I recently had to allow my faith to triumph over my fear. And that was recently when I decided to put my daughter into school, into public school. Where we live, we do have a public school where they start pre-K. And as many of you know, that my daughter had been home with me for a while, and I homeschooled both of my children, and I still homeschool my son, but I made the decision to put my daughter in pre-K because I realized that she needed to be around other children to help her with her social skills. As many of you know who have seen my testimony in previous videos, both of my children have autism. And when you have a child with special needs, homeschooling is amazing. However, I do believe that they need to be exposed to the social aspect with being around other children and just other professionals that can pour into your children to help them learn and to develop when you're dealing with, different special needs like autism. So I made the decision to put her into the public school over here, which is a really good school. And it was not easy. I had so many fears because, as you guys know, school is not how it used to be. What they're teaching the kids and the way that this whole culture is shifting with, what our kids are, what they're learning, what they're instilling in our children is completely different than what it used to be. And to also add on to the dangers of going to school nowadays, you have to deal with bullying, you have to deal with violence, gun violence. So to put her in school was not an easy decision. And although I had prayed about it and I was okay with her being home with me for however long that was going to be, I had accepted my position as being a mom and a teacher. However, I did pray, and I started to feel like I needed to put her into school. So I did. I went ahead and put her into school. I prayed about it. But before I did that, there was a shooting at a local school in a city near me. And when I tell you the fear that overtook me before she started school, I felt like I wanted to just forget everything that I was going to do and just keep her home. And it was really, really hard for me to continue on with putting her in school. I had so many thoughts, like maybe this is a sign she shouldn't go. Maybe it's just not time. And in that moment, after praying and feeling the confirmation from God that it was time to release her, to let her go to school, immediately that school shooting happened and fear overtook me. And I forgot about the promises of God. In that instance, fear had overtaken me. And I had to remember that what God had promised me, that He would never leave or forsake me. And I think it's so important because it's easy for us to say we trust God, but to actually trust God is an action. That's an action of still moving forward with what He promised you, despite what it looks like, despite what the world is doing, despite in which way the world is going, to continue to push forward in spite of what it looks like. Everything looks like I shouldn't put her in school. But having faith in God looks like, despite what you see, God is going to take care of it. It's already done. That God will supply, God will protect. He's a provider. And it's so easy to forget those things when reality is in front of you and you have to make a decision. And it taught me in that moment to stand on my faith and to trust God. So I hope that this encourages you, that no matter what you are going through, no matter what you are up against, what you are facing, to know that if you've prayed about it and God has given you an answer and a confirmation, doesn't matter what the doctor's report look like, doesn't matter what your job is saying, it doesn't matter all of the issues that are coming against your marriage. Remember, stand on God's word. And standing on his word is standing on faith. And that's not easy to do. Because sometimes God will tell us, I got it. But it'll look, everything that's coming at us will be like, Lord, but this don't look promising. But that's when we have to allow God to be God in our lives. And we have to step into our faith and trust God. And that is what I'm doing in this season. My baby is in school. She's in pre-K. She will be going to kindergarten in the fall, and I'm going to trust God. And if for whatever reason school doesn't work out, I'm already equipped to be a homeschool mama. I've done it and I'll do it again. But right now in this season, it was time for me to let her go to school and to let go and to trust that God has her. He has me. He has my marriage. He has my family. And remember that he also has you in the hollow of his hand. So whenever you feel discouraged, whenever you feel like giving up, tap into that big faith and know that God got you. Be blessed, y'all.